All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to boil all this sap from the maple trees. Most of what the sap is water, and when we boil it, the water is going to go out in steam. And what it's going to leave behind is the sweet sugar that's in the sap from the tree and the maple flavor. So we pour the sap in, almost all of it, and then we're going to put it on the stove and turn it on. And then we're just going to wait. This is going to cook probably all day and all night. And when it starts cooking, I'll show you the steam's coming out, and that steam is the water leaving the sap. So when we're done here, we're going to have some delicious maple syrup. Bye. Okay, it's a little while later, and it's starting to steam. I put this on the stove about the time that you started at school this morning. And you can see the steam coming off. That's the water leaving. And we're going to let this go, and we'll check back later, maybe around lunchtime, and see how much steam there is and how much the water's gone down. All right, let's see. It's after lunchtime now. This has been boiling for about 5 hours, and you can see how much of the water's gone. It all went out up in steam. And it smells really good. It's starting to smell like maple syrup. So now what we're going to do is we're going to put it in a smaller pot, and there's a smaller pot, and we're going to strain it because when it was hanging on the trees, it might have gotten like little pieces of bark or dirt inside the sap. So we're going to use this filter to strain it out and clean all the debris out of there. Okay, so there's the filter we're going to use. And now I'm going to get the pot, which is very hot because it's been boiling. And let's see, I'm going to take this and carefully pour into here. So now that pot's empty, and there's the filter. I'm going to let it all drip out. You can see the steam coming off. And inside there is all the stuff that we filtered out. So now we have really clean, clear maple syrup, or almost maple syrup. We just have to keep boiling it down. So you remember how big that pot was. We had this big pot, and we boiled it down. Now it's in this small pot, and it's going to get even smaller by the time the rest of it boils away. So we're going to let that sit, and we're going to come back in a couple hours and see where we are. All right, we're at the final stage here, and you can see it's boiling. And what we want to do is, we have a thermometer in here, and when it hits 219 degrees, that means the syrup is done cooking. We boiled away all the water, and now all we have left is the sap. So I'm going to turn the fire off. And that's going to stop boiling. So that is how we take a big pot like that of maple syrup, and we turn it into, I'm sorry, a big pot like that of sap from the maple tree, and we turn it into some maple syrup here. You see it's still boiling. That smells really good. So, in this pot, now what I have are the jars that we're going to put this in. And they're all nice and clean and ready to go. So I'm going to take the jars out. I'm going to put them here. And the other jar, I'm going to put that here. And then we are going to take this maple syrup and we're going to pour it in the jar. So I need a towel. So I'm going to take this and I don't know if you can see it, but there's the maple syrup, and we're going to pour it into a jar. So there we go. That is a jar of maple syrup for you guys. Now, the last thing we do is we have to seal it. So there's a special lid here I'm going to take out, and we are going to put that top of the jar. Right there. And then I'm going to screw the top on. And there it is. Maple syrup. All done. Just put the lid a little tighter. And the last thing I'm going to do, dry the lid off. And let's see if I can find a marker. Here we go. And this jar is going to be for Teddy and Harrison. Ta-da! And that's it. That's how we make maple syrup. When it's cold out, we go out to the trees and we drill a hole. We put a tap in and we collect the sap in bags. And we put all the sap in a jug and bring it in, and we boil it and boil it and boil it. And all that big jug right there makes that much maple syrup. Love you guys. Bye. Oh, and now the last part, cleaning up. I get to scrape the maple syrup out of the bottom of the pan. That's good. So, oh, it's too hot to pick up, but here's your jar of maple syrup. It's got your name on the top. Teddy and Harrison. So next time I see you guys, we'll give this to you. Bye.